At Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, the New York Mets play the Arizona Diamondbacks. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Geico, the #1 insurer in the New York market. By StubHub, looking for great seats, head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the New York Mets. By the Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, go beyond utility. By New York Lottery, take a break from the expected, play scratch-off games from the New York Lottery. And by the all-new 2017 Hyundai Elantra, it's not just new, it's better. Mets have left New York and headed for the Southwest, the desert climbs of Phoenix, Arizona, where it reached 109 degrees today. Downtown Phoenix, where they're happy to have an indoor stadium, which the Mets will be playing in tonight. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Phoenix. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets start a 10-game road trip with the first of 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Mets were swept in a series by the Diamondbacks last week at Citi Field, and on several occasions in that series, the Mets opted to pitch to the big bat of Paul Goldschmidt, even sometimes when first base was unoccupied. The strategy did not really pay off.
Well, he had a great series against the Mets, 6 for 11, a home run, a double, drove in 4 runs. He's a two-time guy that's been finished second the last 2 years in the MVP voting. He's having an off year average-wise, 295. I think most guys will take that. But he's got 18 home runs, 74 RBIs. He's on a pace to drive in 100. He's one of the premier players tonight.
And the guy behind him in the lineup, Jake Lamb, went 0 for 13 against the Mets. He's 0 for his last 22. It'll be interesting to see if the Mets change their strategy in this series.
Well, the Mets tore him up in New York. He went, 0 for 13 in that series. Went on the Boston 3 games and didn't get a hit there. So he's been mired in a big slump. He's a left-handed bat hitting behind Goldschmidt. As Gary said, it'll be interesting to see what Terry Collins opts to do when Goldschmidt comes up to the plate.
A rematch on the mound from last week. Both starters tonight pitched very well against the opposition. Bartolo Colon allowed just 1 run in his start against the Diamondbacks.
Well, Bartolo's 500th career appearance, 492nd career start. This is the one team that Bartolo has not registered a win against. He's 0-1 lifetime in 3 career starts. So he's looking to get the Mets not only off to a good start on this road trip, but to get this win here in Arizona.
And the hard-throwing lefty Robbie Ray pitched maybe the best game of his career against the Mets his last time out.
Well, he's a guy that's a hard thrower, strikes out a lot of guys. Ironically, only struck out 4, and he walks a lot of guys, and he didn't walk anybody in New York. So the Mets are looking to get the bad Robbie Ray and get this road trip started on the right track.
So the Mets, who went 0 for the Diamondbacks in New York, try and get things started in the desert. When we come back, Steve Gelbs talks with Mets third baseman, now shortstop, Jose Reyes. That's coming up on SNY. Training with Delta Airlines and Delta Dugout. Visit sny.tv/Delta Dugout for details. Get to Citi Field for Family Sunday, August 28th. Watch the Mets play the Phillies at 1:10. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Steven Matz lunch bag courtesy of Mr. Softy. After the game, all kids 12 and under can run the bases in the Mr. Med Dash, courtesy of Northwell Health. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Family Sundays. Bartolo Colon getting ready for the start tonight. Meanwhile, Steve Gelb's caught up with Jose Reyes on the field moments ago.
All right, Jose, now that you're back into it a little bit, how's everything feeling?
Well, everything is good, man. You know, I'm glad that I'm back, you know, helping my ball club any way that I can.
What is the biggest difference for you when you're playing shortstop and when you're playing third base?
Well, I mean, I've been playing shortstop the whole my career, you know, so I know every aspect of the game in shortstop. So third base, you know, I've been learning third base this year, and it's been good, man. I mean, I've been better than I expect, but like I said, shortstop is normal for me.
Jose, do you have an understanding of just how much of a different element you bring to this team than they had all year when it comes to your speed and what you can do on the bases?
Well, you know, every leadoff guy on this league is very important to the ball club. You know, when you are leadoff, you got one job to do, is get on base and get yourself in a score position the most that you can, you know. I'm here now, I know what my job is, you know, try to get on base no matter how, and try to put myself in a score position for the guy behind me.
Do you think about that, though? Do you think about the fact that this team doesn't have so much speed and that you need to be sure to push it a little bit at times?
You know, I don't want to say that I'm going to push it. I mean, you know, I'm going to put pressure to the other ball club, you know, every time that I see a space, and I feel like I can take the next base, you know, why not? You know, so I have to use my speed. I know my speed is not the way that it used to be, you know, but I'm still very quick. So, you know, every time that I get opportunity, I go for it.
Jose, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Anytime. Thank you.
Jose created a couple of runs with his legs the 2 games since he's been back, and he'll be in the leadoff spot again tonight in the desert. Mets in Arizona, first pitch coming right up. Field. Here's your Mets starting lineup, brought to you by Geico. Rivera and Kelly each making their 4th big league start, back-to-back in the 6 and 7 holes. That's hoping that Jay Bruce can get hot on this trip. He's been struggling so far as a Met. Robbie Ray on the mound. His first pitch coming to Jose Reyes. A fastball low and in for ball 1, and we're underway. Reyes 1 for 8 in his 2 games since returning from the DL.
The uniforms look a little better here. Their home uniforms in their roads. The Diamondbacks still not the greatest, but you see the numbers there for Robbie Ray. And his issues have always been his command. He's a hard thrower, gets a lot of strikeouts, but walks too many people, and didn't walk anybody in that 7 innings of 4-hit ball that he threw at Citi Field.
And he gets an instant visit 2 pitches into the game from Wellington Castillo. Castillo is just back tonight. He was on the paternity list, and then his young son was having some medical issues, so they put him on the family emergency list. Just back today, and 2 pitches into the game, he's out trying to counsel his erratic left-hander. So now it's 2-0 to Reyes with Granderson on deck, and a fastball strike, 2-1. Ray looks like he's having issues with the consistency of the mound right now. Trying to iron that out as he works to his first batter. And he's up and away to Reyes, 3-1.
And you can see he puts a lot of effort into every pitch. He throws hard. Came up with Detroit in 2014 briefly in 6 starts. Was 1-4. Chip Hale, the manager.
Here's ball 4, and Reyes is on with a leadoff walk. So Ray didn't walk anybody in 7 innings against the Mets in New York last Wednesday. Walks the first batter of the game tonight.
And that'll get a frown out of the manager, Chip Hale. And we'll take a look at the Diamondback Coors Light defense. The rookie Brandon Drury out in left field. Tomas did not play against the Mets that series. I think had a stiff neck. He's back in the lineup. Goldschmidt, of course, is a Gold Star player. And Castillo, who missed the entire series, also, as Gary mentioned, is behind the plate.
Here's Curtis Granderson, who had a dreadful homestand, just 2 for 20 against Arizona and San Diego, and he fouls off the first pitch fastball.
It's been a tough slog for Curtis. And every time you think he's going to get untracked, he takes a step back. It's just been one of those years for him.
Neil Walker standing on deck. Reyes at first. 4 steals in 5 tries, and Granderson fouls the fastball off at his feet, and it's 0-2. And that one went off his left leg.
Now, Granderson is so. It's the way he's hit his whole life. He's had a very wonderful career, but I would like to see him be less tense in his stance. But that's what he does. He gets crouched and he's corkscrewed in there. And I think it works against him when he goes into a slump.
Reyes ahead of him 0-2 after walking Reyes to start the game. And Granderson fouls it off. Ray had Reyes leaning back toward first as he threw that pitch. So Reyes not getting a very good read on this left-hander. Reyes given up 9 steals and 11 tries this year, so he's not one of those lefties who it's impossible to run against. Diamondbacks pitched incredibly well in the series in New York, and Ray was a big part of that. 7 scoreless innings. And his first throw to first, and Reyes back. The Diamondbacks starters in the series in New York had an ERA of 1.35. Then they went to Boston for the weekend, and it was an entirely different story. Diamondback starters had an ERA in Boston of 17.65.
How many innings did they pitch in that
8
3 games?
2 3/4 innings total in a 3-game series. They gave up 17 earned runs, and including Zach Greinke, who got knocked out in the 2nd inning yesterday.
And they brought up a reliever to bolster the bullpen.
Well, that bullpen's been torn up the last few days because of their starters' woes. Reyes runs. Granderson lines it right to Goldschmidt for the double play. Bad luck there with Reyes on the move. Granderson hit it hard, but right to Goldschmidt. 3 unassisted, 2 out.
That's a big hang with him. You know, when you're going bad, you hit the ball good, it's right at someone.
So just like that, 2 out and nobody on. But good to see Granderson hit a ball hard. Here's Neil Walker, who is just smoking hot. Homered yesterday, his 21st of the year, 2 shy of his career high. Over the last 18 games, hitting .444. And Ray sells it outside. Walker was in the depths of despair for a couple of weeks, and now for 3 weeks he's been as hot as anybody.
It seemed longer than in a couple of weeks, Gary. It seemed like he had been mired in a slump for like a month.
Home run he hit yesterday was as a right-hand batter. He now has 7 right-handed home runs this year. In his entire career combined before this season, he had a total of 6 right-handed home runs. So he has completely revamped himself from this side of the plate. And Ray gets ahead of him 1-2. That's the hot streak for Neil. raised his batting average from under 240 to its current 275. Jay Bruce waiting on deck.
Yeah, I believe he got as low as 238. I could be wrong by a point or two, but that was the nadir of his season, that's for sure.
It's hard to raise your batting average 35 points this time of year.
Yes.
Ooh. Just missed at 96, 2-2. Robbie Ray, 24 years old, out of Brentwood, Tennessee.
Thought he had it here.
Plate umpire James Hoy somehow didn't see that as a strike, much to Walker's benefit. And Neal can't take advantage of it. Ray strikes him out with the breaking ball. Castillo makes the throw to first for the third out.